So in 1990s, when globalization came, everybody said the West has won against the West. It is best for the West to follow the West. We all began doing it. In fact, my experience in this period was being a business consultant. All the top people in India have been either my clients or friends. So they didn't know how to handle this new animal called globalization. So they asked me for advice. Nor did I know anything. So I met one Gandhian by name Dharma. I don't know how many of you have heard about him. He is one of the most original thinkers I have come across. He had written a book called The Beautiful Tree. It's all available on the, you must read the book. In 1930, when Mahatma Gandhi went to the round table, he made a statement to the British that India was more literate when you came than it is today. Then they all asked, what is the evidence? He said, I have no evidence, but I can tell you this is the truth. Everybody criticized Mahatma Gandhi is a madman. He is saying that India was more literate when the British came and India has ceased to be literate because of the British. Dharma took this one sentence from 1957 to 1967. He only devoted himself to the archives in Berlin, in France, in England, wherever Indian archives were, and built this beautiful book called The Beautiful Tree, in which he proved that in the 16th and 17th century, the literacy rate in India was double that of England. And there was no universal education in England till the 18th century beginning. Even the grammar was not taught. Mathematics was forbidden for common people. And how in India in the 16th, 17th and 18th centuries, there were 100,000 village schools in Madras Presidency, 120,000 village schools in Bombay Presidency, and almost equal number in Calcutta, eastern areas. So he said that all over India there were 500,000 village schools, in which 67% of the people who studied are what is known as the OBCs today. By the British system of education, it is the OBCs who lost the education. He proved all this. So I went to him. I asked him, what do I answer? Today everybody is at a dead end. Government officials are telling the Indian business people, come on, you sell your business today. Because you are such low capacities, you can't compete at the global level, you have such low capital, you need such huge capital, you cannot compete with the industries which are coming in. And so it is much better you sell out your industries to the foreign investors and begin doing trading, because you have been very good in trading, you can do trading. This was the kind of advice government officers were giving to Indian businessmen. So, Dharma told me, this was the condition of Mahatma Gandhi when he came to India. And Gokhale told him that you must study today's India, and asked him to go around the country. And for 1 year, Mahatma Gandhi traveled across the country. And in that period, he told him not to utter one word. He must only observe and then formulate his ideas. Afterwards, only Mahatma Gandhi, in Madurai, he saw some farmer and he changed his dress, identified himself with the people, communicated through his very appearance what it is, and then he began shaping up the freedom movement. We may have differences, anything with him, but undoubtedly he was one of the most successful leaders of the world who have shaped a nation into a working instrument. So, Dharma told me you travel across the country. Then I began my travel in Ludhiana, Batala, Rajkot, Jamnagar, Morbi, down to Toothukudi, about 42 industrial clusters where industrial activities take place. I was stunned. First my mind went into a question, how Ludhiana became the largest cycle manufacturer in the world. Have you heard about it? Ludhiana, how it emerged as the largest cycle manufacturer in the world. And it became the largest motorcycle manufacturer. It became the largest spare parts manufacturer for cycle manufacturers all over the world. And it became one of the important centers of machine tool manufacturing and then textiles. And when all this development took place, there was not one college worth name. Then I found it was all because of one artisan community called the Ram Gadiya community. It is that which built the prosperity of those places. Then I went to Jalandhar. In Jalandhar, I was taken to an RSS person's house. He said, "Will you come and see my cricket bat manufacturing factory?" Cricket bat manufacturing factory in Jalandhar. So he took me there and he said, "Sir, the best bats in the world are manufactured in Jalandhar." At that time, I don't think anybody played cricket in Jalandhar. And he told me, "Astral in Cricket Control Board places the entire order for its requirements only on my factory." See that carpenter. He manufactures 50 willows a day sometimes, 25 willows a day. And I pay him 150 rupees per willow. You see the car parked outside. The Maruti car, it belongs to him. He's completely opening me to something new, which I never knew about India. Its entrepreneurial capacity. And all these people work in unison. There is community bondage. They help each other, they compete with each other, they lend to each other, they borrow from each other, they trust each other. It is almost an unincorporated company functioning together. My mind related to what Aurobindo said. In fact, that is what I was trying to search. How? There is a community model in India. And our entire social capital, which is now modern terminology for what Aurobindo said in those days, is social capital. And this made us prosperous. This made us trust each other. This made us work with each other. This made us non-exploitative. Because the society was watching us, who is doing right, who is doing wrong. Everybody was afraid of the social brand of oneself. This became a much more salutary law, compulsive law, influential law than any law on courts, which I saw in anywhere. A completely new vision of India developed before me, a new model developed before me. This happened between 1992 and 2000 into 1999. When I told Atal Bihari Vajpayee when he became the Prime Minister that he should adopt the cluster model of development. There are 2,800 partisan clusters in India. About 300 clusters are very prominent. In fact, this is a question I have asked many IIT students and IIM students, which is the place with the highest per capita income in India. I have told them which are not the places. And then I asked them, tell me what are the places. It's not Bombay, it's not Delhi, it's not Bangalore, it's not Hyderabad, it's not Chennai, it's not Calcutta. Then which is the place with the highest per capita income in India? It is a place called Morbi in Gujarat. The population when I went to Morbi was about 2.5-3 lakhs. 60% of the population was employed. Is it the Ajanta work clock? This work clock is manufactured there. And they export wall clocks all over the world. And they have 100,000 diamond, 1,000 diamond cutting units, 1,000 to ceramic. They don't know English. I couldn't hear people speaking English in Ludhiana, in Jalandhar, in Rajkot, in Jamnagar, in Morbi. I didn't hear people speaking English. But they are prosperous, they are entrepreneurs, they produce jobs. Ludhiana imports 5 lakh labor from Bihar every year. So a new India emerged before me. This is the power of the society. This is the discipline that our great forefathers have instilled in us. This is purushartha on the ground. There is nothing you need not have to go and search in books. I could see this. I could see how it works on the ground. Nobody thought the other man's difficulty was not his difficulty. This is dharma. I don't think anyone felt isolated. I don't think anyone felt that he would not have the support of fellow beings. In fact, when I went to Karur is a place where two large banks have sprouted. You must have heard about it. Karur Vaisya Bank and Lakshmi Vilas Bank. How in a town of just 7 lakh people, two large banks came up. This should have been a matter for study by IITs, by IIMs, by research institutions. But nobody even cared about it. How a small place produced two large banks. When I went to study Karur, the facts that emerged before me showed how strong the Indian society is, how strong the Indian family system is, how strong the sense of the ethics of people in relating to each other is. In Karur, there are 30,000 private moneylenders. Karur Moneylenders, Karur Private Financiers Association, whose annual general meeting I have been invited. There are 56 branches of the nationalized banks and 2 large banks, but the money lent by the Karur Private Financiers Association is 2/3 of the total amount lent in Karur. The banks are unable to match them. Their assessment of a creditor, the borrower, was perfect. No bad debt. I was stunned. Even the banks lend through them. This model doesn't prevail anywhere in the world. In automized societies where individuals are individuals, nobody is bothered. Even the brother is not bothered about the brother. Father is not bothered about the son. Son is not bothered about the father. For such a society, you can't even call it a society, but such a collection of individuals, you have an economic model, but that cannot work in a place where there are no individuals. In India, there is nobody who is an individual. If you call anybody as an individual, right, you have not understood India. In India, there is only duties for people. It is duty that defines you as a son, duty that defines you as a father, duty that defines you as a brother, duty that defines you as a neighbor. I will tell you a stunning incident which happened in my life as a professional. In 1993 or 94, if I remember right, one of my friends was going for a bank settlement in Bombay, and he was driving his car out, and his neighbor's wife had come and shouted, "My husband has chest pain, he has to be taken to the hospital." So he drove the car inside, put her husband in the car, and took him to the hospital, and his bank appointment went up in smoke. For 5 years his debt was not settled, and he must have incurred a few hundred crores loss. So finally I asked him, do you think what you did at that time was wrong? He said, "Guru, this question has haunted me for a long time. But I tell you one thing, if I had gone for my bank appointment, and if that man had died of heart attack, I would never have lived in peace. Whatever wealth I made, this is dharma. You owe a duty to your neighbor. In your wealth making, this has to be factored in. But you see in America, 30 years people will be residing next door. They will even smile at each other when they are taking their dog out for a drive, walk. But they will not introduce themselves to each other because that man will impede into his privacy. Privacy is the greatest untouchability you practice against the whole society. That is modern.